Just
Welcome to your awakening. Please take care as your reality is adjusted.
Shazbot Schalami. I think that's how you pronounce it, isn't it? You're supposed to say it whenever you get home. Shazbot Schalami.
Yeah.
It's something like that, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just paying homage. Paying homage to the chosen ones. Oh yeah, I forgot to put the phlegm in, didn't I?
Yeah.
Schalami. There you go. Yeah, so we paid our homage to the chosen ones.
Hummus.
Hopefully that means homage.
Yeah.
Hopefully that means we'll be allowed to carry on. We'll see if it gets stopped on the poo tubes. Yeah, if we have to put shekels in the machine, we can always switch to Rumble, and then we
maybe we get some this time because we love them.
The 7,000 shekels.
Yeah. How much is that worth? 2 cents?
I'm not sure. Do you have to say it?
I don't know what a shekel is worth even. What is a shekel? How much is a shekel?
I don't know what the exchange rate is.
No.
Well, I suppose it depends if you're one of the chosen or not, doesn't it?
Let me check.
Because surely a shekel in the hand of a goyim would be worth less than in the hand of a chosen.
Shekel. Maybe. It's 27 euro cents.
27 cents. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
That's more than 1 cent.
One shekel is a quarter of a euro.
Oh.
So that's similar to a pound, a little less even.
So the 30 pieces, the 30 shekels.
Yeah, it's like 20p.
Yeah.
One shekel.
Yeah, it's not nanu, but no, you're getting it mixed. No, you got to pronounce it properly. It's Shazbot Schalami. I've heard all the influencers saying it, like they've all been every time they do a video, they have to say the Shazbot Schalami thing. Just to prove their allegiance, but yeah, we thought we'd get it in early before the day of the alleged birthday of the evil one. Because obviously for the chosen people, the birth of Jesus was something terrible. Because he's meant to be horrible and nasty according to their books. So. Yeah. Anyway, hello everyone. It's going to be a bit silly, I think, maybe, but we'll see how things go. It might oscillate between silliness and seriousness, but we'll see what happens. We'll say hello to everyone first. Mascara Snake, good evening. I will do a rune later, not straight away, and maybe it'll be different to Tewa's. No, I'll just type that in right away. Because I thought I could sit and go through the emoticons and try and find, see if there's any rune in the emoticon. There might be in some of the symbols, because some of the runes do end up becoming universal symbols, like the arrow. But whatever, yeah. I will do that later. Rick, good evening, Rick. Scrolling down. Yeah, awesome. Lobson Tatro, good evening, mate.
Oi.
Michael Madcock, good evening. A shekel in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, maybe. But that's what I mean. I think it's got something to do with whether or not you're actually a chosen one or not. I think it might be a bit like a CBDC. Once it's in the hand of a goyim, it stops being worth anything at all. And
yeah,
half a goat, it could be. Depends how big the goat is, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure people realise that I am just taking a piss. That's not the proper phrase. I'm not going to bother saying the proper phrase. I'm sure you can find it out easy enough if you bother going and having a listen round at the moment. It was used recently by one particular
Yeah, I got it.
notorious character. And it seemed to, well, it stood out to me when she said it. Yeah, there you go. That's the one. Yeah, with the funny eyes. Yeah. Wee, 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 wee. It just makes me think of that music. Wee, wee. Yeah, when she does that evil stare. But she used this phrase, and allegedly, what's his name? Charlie Kirk was using this phrase, even though he himself is not Jewish, he's not Hebrew. So why he would be using the
She
phrase?
says that he did.
Yeah, and he was
Candace doesn't think he said that.
No, I don't think he probably did either. But then again, I didn't know the guy in any way at all, really. So what could I know? But she insists that he had been saying it on the regular. Funny that, isn't it? Somebody who's a professed Christian and made a point about spreading his Christianity, wanting to talk to people about his faith in Christ, in Christianity.
Yeah,
and yet
Saturday is not the right day. It's Sunday. Then a Christian
for
doesn't do anything and does rest and don't work, and
It's funny as well, the fact that it's a Saturday.
She's confused.
Satan's Day, Saturn's Day. Saturn, Satan, Santa. Etymologically,
Saturn.
they're all interrelated, and it goes back to Saturn. Observation of Saturn. Even the symbol of the two triangles conjoining, that's a symbol of Saturn as well. So,
Saturn.
My use of the phrase, "Oh, whooshy Paula," but my use of the piss take version, because when they first started saying it, I was thinking, that just reminds me of Robin Williams doing Mork and Mindy, when he used to do Shazbot. And I wonder if that's where we got the idea for that silly word from, to come from that kind of Yiddish, maybe. Maybe it's just sort of like a nonsense word out of the Yiddish. But Shazbot Schalami. Shalami? Shalami. Yeah. Shalami. I thought salami as well, simply because a salami is a form of sausage. And at the moment, that seems to be a lot of what we're getting in terms of, well, maybe, but in terms of like the information that they're peddling. I don't necessarily mean her in herself, but the various influences that have all been dancing around the internet, pushing this narrative and these talking points, and just basically commenting on anything at all to do with Israel and Judaism and whatever, to get their 7,000 shekels. To me, it just seems
a bit more.
She might be in receipt of several salamis at the moment.
Yeah, she made a bit of an offering there. So
she's been going around hugging as many as she can. So maybe she's looking for that.
Getting really weird, I still pay attention, but I'm like, okay, this is getting so fucking ridiculous.
It is very intertwined.
They really want ridiculous. You to know that it's a ruse or whatever.
It's almost as if they want to be caught.
Yes.
In a similar way to the really terrible bad guys in Scooby-Doo.
Mm-hmm.
And I've made this argument a few times
she
over
looks
the
like
years.
A Scooby-Doo, villain. Really.
This using it as a kind of analogy or metaphor. The system loves to give people, especially in this internet age, to give people Scooby-Doo investigation stories.
Mm-hmm.
Because they keep you preoccupied, and you think you're getting new information. You think you're learning something about what's really going on out there in the world, or in the big political gameplay or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you're just following little breadcrumbs or Scooby snacks that have been deliberately left for you to find. If anything, sometimes they're standing right over them, pointing at them, going, here it is, come and look at it. You know, like when they're constantly parading around this idea of that one particular rifle having been used. And it just becomes an insane joke. Like you said, it's become ridiculous, but it's beyond the level of ridiculousness.
Yeah. Candace is supposed to be the bad guy right here. But I think if you pull off her mask, it's going to be Erica Kirk underneath.
Well, it seems that's what I
Pull
was
off
saying.
Erica Kirk's mask, it's going to be JD Vance, I think.
Yeah, the two seem to be working in conjunction to one pedals one side of the bike, the other pedals the other side.
They need each other, right? They need each other to get to a certain common goal. They have a common goal. And I think it's more hate. They want us to hate them so they can slam us harder, right? So
absolutely. I do think as well there is a deliberate ploy to do with the American public directly. Because I don't think it's any coincidence that the group is called Turning Point, and they have been, I mean, they were probably engineered right from the start, to be honest with you, I think. But even if you leave that to speculation, you know, can't prove that for definite, it certainly can be shown that they've been appropriated over time and turned into this political manipulation tool to serve the standard Zionist narrative, you know.
Would you say 2025 was a turning point year?
Yes and no. Yeah, it's an entrance into the turning point, I think. 25, 26, 27. This midpoint of the decade, and I know we've had this conversation.
It's a well-chosen name, isn't it, to brand your fucking your revolution kind of a thing.
Yeah, exactly. And at the same time, and I'm sure that there's probably been plenty of other people who've sort of covered this kind of aspect of what's going on long before even Charlie Kirk was murdered. You know, I'm sure people have been talking about this kind of potentiality anyway. But it's perfectly suited for the current political atmosphere or geopolitical atmosphere that the majority of people have been gravitating back towards some form of religion or spiritual connection. Now, I would say religion more than spiritual connection, simply because the system itself is actively trying to gather people under religious banners. They want you to be associated with a particular grouping that is already established and controllable. They don't want you setting up your own thing. They don't want you just being spiritual, because that means you're then not associated to one of these already controlled labels that are being used. Yeah. So they want you to fit into a box. Pick a box and get in the box. Yeah. Hello in the chat. Roscoe, good evening. I think I saw Sonia as well. Good evening, Sonia. And Steve, good evening, Steve. Have a quick scroll down. Genuinely concerned, good evening. Okay, I think I've caught up. A quick scroll up to check. Yeah, I think so. Well, hello to everyone in the chat, and hello to all the lurkers and time travelers that might be there or might be here later. Later is now, and now is when it was. Yeah. Erica Kirk, half of the family is Jewish. I thought so. Yeah, I haven't actually researched into this. I'm just working from certain presumptions. Yeah. Aunt Carla Francis married Casino, I think that means casino tycoon.
Casino tycoon, yeah.
Jack Solomon, who built Colorado Bell Casino in Laughlin, trustee for Hebrew University. Cousin is Nicole Rothstein.
Yeah, and the father of Rothstein is a big mob boss in New York.
And I know her
Jewish mafia, but yeah.
Her mum works in the USA military, doesn't she? And she has done pretty much all her life.
Yeah, both dad and mom are contractors.
And as far as I know, she's fairly high up in the military. She's not like just a secretary.
No, she's an expert in what was it? Not Jew, but
Energy weapons.
I think capturing data, like crowd control, like capturing all the phones. What
like
they're
the
doing now.
sonic weapons, active
No.
denial.
What they did with the Charlie Kirk, like all the
Oh,
people that went there.
what they're calling geofencing,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
not really geofencing; it's data capture.
Yeah. So
Right,
how many Christians, how many Jews were there, how many and all that.
Oh, good
That's what
evening,
she's
Matt. Or good morning, if it's morning where you are. Yeah, hello in the chat. Thanks for joining
Who
in.
the fuck are the Jews? Well, yeah, I don't know. The
They're
people we're talking about
Shazbot
are not really
Schalami.
Jews, really. They don't have a belief. They just hate.
Is it a belief or is it an ethnicity? They don't seem to be able to make up their mind, you know.
Actual Jews are just waiting for that little Messiah somewhere, hoping
Yeah.
he will come one day.
But yeah, I don't think it's any coincidence whatsoever that somebody with the talent and an ability, and I do think he was genuinely talented. The guy, if you listen to him for any length of time, he was very good at what he did, Charlie Kirk. Yeah. Whether you debate his intentions or whatever, fair enough. But to actually do what he did, he was really good at it. Yeah. So it would not surprise me whatsoever if the system came along and saw somebody like him and thought, yes, you'll suit our purposes very well, thank you. We know that as things become more and more chaotic in the world, like McKenna's weirder and weirder, and we see that happening. Certainly over this year, things have got very weird. That level of weirdness is going to create a desire amongst the a certain demographic of the public to seek some kind of solace or a sense of certainty and connection, which can be provided through some kind of spiritual worship or sense of divine connection. In other words, when the shit starts hitting the fan, more people want to turn back to God. It's just a natural reaction. It just is. When things are getting really serious, and especially when there's a mortal danger of one kind or another, people start calling out to God. Yeah, that's just what we do.
Hello, Akbar.
Yeah, I can say I'm a bit more careful about how I say that kind of thing when I'm thinking that
How you
way.
phrase it? Yeah.
When I was lying in the bed struggling to breathe and wondering if I was not going to wake up, I was a bit more selective, in the same way as you should be if you ever encounter a genie
in which one
the
you
office.
were calling. Sure.
Yeah, if he offers to grant you wishes, think very, very, very carefully how you word that wish. But yeah, anyway, they knew full well that as they push their agenda through, which is all the shit that's currently happening in the Middle East, it's not just Gaza, it's not just the Palestinians, it's the whole region. And that whole region has a knock-on ripple effect to the entire fucking world. So for people who think, oh, why do you pay attention to that area? It doesn't matter. It's not here. It's not in our street. The shit that's happening over there is having a ripple effect here. They want to introduce the technocracy open-air prison system here because of shit that's being pushed and promoted by the chosen people. Yeah, they love to shout anti-Semite at you if you make even the slightest hint towards some kind of uniform agenda that they are pursuing. But the evidence and the rationale to show this is what is actually happening is astronomical. How many more fucking decades do you need to see the same footprints in the snow before you start acknowledging that that's the direction they're walking, running, fighting in, yeah? It is fucking obvious. Now they have literally decimated Gaza to the point that they have now stolen half of that land space. I mentioned this a few weeks ago. The yellow line has not been moved back, even though the supposed ceasefire was agreed upon. The ceasefire has now been broken again anyway, so it doesn't matter now, yeah? It's a moot point again now. But the yellow line that they introduced, the control perimeter, has not changed. So they've literally just moved in on more than 50% of what used to be the Gaza Strip has now been claimed by Israel. So that's now the new border. So in other words, they've basically just stolen half of what was the Gaza Strip.
Yeah,
They've
no,
also
Gaza as
claimed
well.
the Golan Heights. They've also claimed large areas of Syria. You know, they're moving in on Lebanon. They're basically expanding the Greater Israel project in exactly the way it was described in their own documentation from decades ago.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So trying to ignore or deny this reality as it's progressing is self-defeating, I would suggest. I mean, you do whatever you choose to do. Yeah? If you want to just ignore the shit, that's your choice. That's up to you. But when our own government is starting to introduce legislation that doesn't benefit us, the population of this country, it benefits the chosen people and their agenda, then you should start wondering about what the fuck's going on over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at what's happened in Australia recently. You know, this is now an example. Oh, hello in the chat.
Can I say hi
Headlighters
to Matt Finley? He just joined.
I did say hello to Matt earlier, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I just noticed him. So, but
That's all right.
we're gonna play his cover of Angry North this June.
Oh, right, cool.
Angry North talked about him the other day, and I checked him out, and I thought, oh, that's nice. So I subbed, and so please, everybody, sub to Matt Finley. He's
Cool,
making good tunes. He needs the subs. He only has 100 something subs, so could use some more.
Can you drop the link in the chat?
I'll do that. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
I got
please.
it. Yeah, I'll do that. And then we're gonna play his tune in the cover in a minute. So
okay, cool.
We'll play it later.
Hello, Gordon, and hello, Roberto. Word. Yeah, the situation in Australia recently, the Bondi Beach shooting, which we talked about last week. I don't think there's really any point sort of digging over that, raking over the coals of that again. I think to me it's fairly obvious, but you know, people will make of it what they will, and they'll end up debating the details endlessly for a good while yet. But I think the end result, as I described it at the time when we were talking about it, and I said, just like other events, we may not be able to be definitive about the actual events on the day because the details are confused and the information is manipulated and whatever. But look at what happens after the event. What do they do on the justification of the event taking place? Lo and behold, Albanese came out and said they're going to introduce more legislation to control anti-Semitism and hate speech online and all that usual kind of rhetoric. Mm-hmm. So it has provided exactly the justification they wanted to push I'll just call it censorship, but it's far more than just online censorship against you posting comments. Yeah, it goes a lot deeper than that. But yeah, they've used this event to push that narrative ahead another level. So they're doing the same all over the place. You know, the UK is still talking about introducing more control over that aspect of what they call hate speech, but obviously specifically anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. You know, because now they've got the nice sort of
trifecta.
Yeah, it's a narrative tool where they can make it seem like they're being impartial, but they're being impartial because everybody's getting fucking banned. Not just
seems
one
like a
people.
problem reaction solution setup to me.
Yeah.
Abrahamic religious problem we got here.
Yeah. Shazbot Schalami.
Yeah,
exactly. They need it to go a certain direction, so they start cranking the sausage machine.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, going back to that, the TP USA thing, I find it absolutely no coincidence that it's called Turning Point. I find it no coincidence that it started gaining ground in popularity and political support over the last couple of years to the point that it accelerated to such a scale. And this is why I said recently, you know, I think it's worth keeping an eye on this event because I think it's far more significant, especially to the American public in particular. Yeah, maybe not so much on the world stage because this is mainly to influence what's happening in the USA at the moment or to create problems, reaction, solutions in the USA. But it is immensely significant politically for the USA and for the population in America because this is now going to be the justification in the same way as the Bondi Beach attack. This will be the justification to introduce more legislation, more censorship control. It's going to be pushing further the narrative to do with all this kind of justification of the chosen ones, as well as because it's connected into the Christian church, it reinforces the dominance in the USA. And this has been true for quite a few years now, if people don't know. I know we talked about it occasionally. And when some of our American friends are around, they'll, mention this and back it up and whatever. But a lot of the churches in America are part of what's called 501c charitable institutions. So the way they avoid having
Tax.
to pay normal tax, as if they're a business, because they do operate like businesses.
So-called non-profits, but the people that work there, they get a salary of $1 million a month.
Yeah. So in the same way as their medical industry is commercially based, their religious industry in America is mainly commercially based. Not all of it, obviously. Some of it is done in a kind of genuinely charitable fashion. Some denominations are genuinely charitable. They don't operate like that. They don't operate like a business. And some of them deliberately avoid the 501c categorization because to claim that tax-free exemption in the American system, you have to agree to following certain expectations. And those, to the general layperson, they may seem like just, what you'd expect in a kind of legislative sense. But if you look into them, they are very akin to the DEI kind of principles with the workforce environment. The churches have to stick to certain narrative points, certain political points have to be confirmed through the output from the church people, the church workers. So they're, whether it be a priest or a vicar or whatever, they have to repeat the mantra of the political diktat, basically. And especially when it comes to the Zionists, the Christian Zionist principle, the 501c, as far as I know, as far as I remember anyway, requires that they support the state of Israel. They cannot boycott the state of Israel. They cannot speak against the state of Israel. And when you look into, especially some of the stuff that Candice has recently covered, some of the stuff that TPUSA has been doing for the last year to 2 years is creating this sort of training scheme to pump out these pastors that are Christian Zionist pastors. Basically, their remit is, we're Christians, but we support Israel first. So at every opportunity, we will tell our congregation that they must support the state of Israel. And we're talking about the political state of Israel, not Hebrew people, not Judaic people. That's not what they're trying to protect or support here. We're talking about the Zionist political principle of supporting and advocating for the nation state of Israel. So
actual Semitics.
Yes.
Semites.
Yeah.
Sorry, Semitic.
Like Megan, what's her name? Megan Kelly was saying, I'm a Semite, I'm a Zionist, but they're trying to attack me, saying I'm not, because she won't speak against Tucker Carlson or Candice. That's why. They're using public bullying tactics to try and get everyone in line or repeating the same narrative. And that narrative is the narrative that's been pushed primarily by TPUSA, Erica Kirk, and the other group of them. Hiya, Rob. Not Dr. Rob in the chat. Good evening, mate.
Hi, Rob.
You're welcome to join in if you want. No worries if you can't. That's cool. But the TPUSA as an institution, as a charitable group, they're not charitable in any fucking way whatsoever. It's I can't think of a bad enough word to describe how disgusting it is that they go around parading themselves, claiming they're some kind of charitable institution, yet they do what they're doing. Despite all the allegations or suggestions or speculation that they're somehow interwoven into the murder of Charlie Kirk, beside that, just the way they are literally milking the American public for money, while at the same time spouting Zionist propaganda directly at them and trying to cajole them using religious talking points, using theological rhetoric to try and convince the congregation that they should be supporting the Zionist cause first rather than their own population. To me, that is not only sick, that's so fucking twisted. That's literally taking the best of what is meant to be the Christian principles of charitable care for others and twisting it to one perverted political end. Yeah, because you're talking about supporting the Greater Israel Project, because that's the Zionist concern. Don't believe all the bullshit they might, the mealy-mouthed words and excuses they might take through the media. Their intention is the Greater Israel Project. Yeah, they're not going to stop at the 1948 borders.
It's doing well. It's doing great.
Yeah, at the moment it is.
They're all dancing and smiling,
Yeah.
They're winning.
Dancing around, shouting,
Shazbot
Schalami.
You can cry, you can moan, you can do anything, right? But they're celebrating. They're like, oh, dude.
Yeah.
They're having a party, so they don't give a shit.
So,
well, they care about the optics, right? Because that's why they are doing so many, how would you say, charm offenses.
Yeah, a lot of it is that kind
on
of.
On one end, and on the other hand, Tucker Carlson just got the Anti-Semite of the Year award. So I don't know what that means, because Tucker Carlson loves the Noahide laws and the Talmud.
Yeah, he thinks they're a great idea.
He loves Israel, really. He just doesn't like how they do it, right? He would have much rather have the Palestinians be moved out, right? Or driven
on buses.
Yeah, instead of bombed, because optics.
Instead of removed in bags.
Yeah, because optics, right? Because bad optics. Like So again, it's a fucking hypocrite, and he's acting a lot of stupid, as if he's dumb when he's not.
Nick, Chief, I was just reading that Charlie Kirk didn't electrocute himself.
Nah.
Nah. Yeah, well, like I said, there's going to be endless speculation, because I do think they. And I know some people are trying to poo-poo the event and the subject matter as being just distraction. I don't think it is. I could agree in the sense of it's a narrative event or methodology to manipulate the American public, politically manipulate the American public. Yes. So in that sense, you could dismiss it in that kind of manner of, like, it's more political game playing, and unfortunately somebody got assassinated to carry out the narrative, but that's what they've done. Yeah,
maybe. Yeah.
But I think there is a much deeper element to this. The fact that how they killed him, where they killed him, who he was, what he represented, the iconography of him as a messianic figure in the American psyche. It had enough time to build up to that point, even though he was, for most people, he was somewhat of a background character. They might have heard the name, but they didn't know much about him or what he did or whatever. But it still had that kind of large-scale political influence and religious influence as well, obviously. And I think that in terms of the current American psyche as a nation state, as a country, that's immensely significant, almost to the same kind of level as a character like JFK or Martin Luther King even. It's the same kind of level. Yeah. When you look at
Luther King, not JFK.
Yeah, MLK more than JFK, but if you look at that kind of...
the MLK had the power of the minds, right? And the
hearts and minds.
The will and the will of the people.
Yeah. And he was
JFK
more,
actually had power. He was a president. He could fucking destroy the FBI if he wanted to, and you know, so they had to go.
And JFK was coming
So
from a
that's different.
political power base, whereas MLK was coming from a religious power base.
Yeah,
so you
same
see
with
what
Bob
I mean?
Marley and other similar kind of people, right?
Yeah.
That speak truth to the to the
And
minds
they
and hearts and minds of the people. Yeah,
they become adopted like the cliche of the working
Cannot
class
have that.
hero. Yeah, they're like the hero from the streets, even though, you know, if you look at Charlie Kirk, he didn't come from a underprivileged background or anything like that, not at all. But
No.
in the kind of mass psyche, the mass consciousness effect of him being an archetypal character, and I mean that in a Jungian sense, a Jungian archetype that represented, I would suggest he was a king figure, even though his name wasn't King. He's Kirk, actually, from the
His
Scottish
dad was
meaning
the
church.
chief of Starfleet, man.
Yeah.
He flew the Enterprise.
Oh dear, that's Captain Kirk.
Well,
James T.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the sense of, I know a lot of people don't like to acknowledge this, or they find it too big a kind of subject matter to try and absorb. But plenty of other people have covered these kind of subject matters. Like Mark Devlin, he talks a lot more about the music industry, but he's also covering the kind of stuff that I'm often referencing, the kind of cultural media. I usually refer to it as cultural media. So it's not just music, it's movies, it's television, it's comic books, it's artwork. Yeah, it's poetry. It's basically the culture that as a society we output and share amongst each other. Those are the stories that we tell each other. And the stories are how we define the world we live in. The stories we relate to each other are how we define the world we live in. Yeah. That's been known for a very long time. Plato knew that and codified it, and that's how they came up with the cult of Dionysus, and they control the performance industry so that they can control the minds of the population, because the performance artists relay a narrative of what to expect from reality to the public. Yeah, so they basically give you your framing or your Overton window, as so many people like to call it these days. You know, it's basically just what you focus on. It's what's in your primary vision, not your peripheral vision kind of thing. Yeah. So the entertainment industry dictate or create the stories that we then absorb and use to frame our perception of reality. So when you create figures like Charlie Kirk, and I say create a figure because obviously he wouldn't have got to where he was if there wasn't people helping him and supporting him. I'm not saying he wasn't capable. You know, I think he was genuinely talented at what he did, but if they wanted to suppress him, they could have. They didn't. They supported him. They gave him fuckloads of money. They arranged for him to get more supporters, you know, billionaires and whatever, to send him money, to send TPUSA money. They actively created his archetypal character perception amongst the public. That's done regularly. They give us different archetypal characters to fulfill certain psychological functions. Right, this is where you can get quite overwhelmed with the sheer amount of interconnected sources of information and data points to do with how this sort of works in conclusion. But to put it simply, that's the easiest way I can think of describing it, is it's the stories we tell each other are how we define the world. So they give us these layers of entertainment or media relation. It's not always necessarily entertainment. Sometimes it's things that are horrible, you know, because that's what they feel is emotionally required for the end goal that they're trying to get to. Look, think of like the SAGE team during COVID, who literally wrote in their documentation, the public is not scared enough, basically. Yeah? I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what they wrote. You know, we need to make them more afraid. You know, so they give us narratives. Charlie Kirk as an archetype was representing a king narrative. if you know about Jungian archetypes or the heroic story arc, you know, the classic, is it Campbell, Joseph Campbell, I think? Is it Joseph Campbell? Something Campbell, I can't remember his first name now.
I don't know.
But his description of the cycle of the hero's journey, you know, which is something we've often talked about, yeah. For Charlie Kirk, he represents somebody who has reached that position of being the king archetype because he's doing well for himself, he's well established, he's got a good solid home life, he's sound of mind, or
Joseph
seemingly
Campbell. You're right.
It was Joseph Campbell. Thank you, Roscoe. Yeah. So basically, he represented somebody who was secure and confident and capable within their life. And not only that, they were exuding confidence to such a degree that they were a capable and competent leader of other people. They helped other people find their way through the darkness of the chaos of being without a divine connection, yeah, in a religious sense, because he was obviously coming from a religious point of view, not just a humanist point of view. Hi, Mr. Smith. Good to see you in the chat. Anyway, I'm over-explaining, really, but the point I was mainly trying to make was just the fact that I feel because of those kind of reasons, the assassination, the murder of Charlie Kirk is a lot more significant to the American psyche as a mass psyche than people acknowledge.
It's a 9/11 kind of an event for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
For a certain generation, this is a marker in their little brain, like 9/11 was for a lot of us. Like,
he'd been martyred. Yeah.
It either fucking scared them into thinking, okay, I have to be a little Zionist, or it woke them up. Because, somebody said it in the comments. It's a lot like a magic show that we were watching.
Yes.
Like, a lot of sleight of hand going on.
Yeah, and a lot of weird things that you can't explain in any sensible
that doesn't
way.
make sense, and then anything becomes possible. So everybody goes into an infinite rabbit hole.
Yes.
Of speculation and
which
arguing,
is why,
and that's what they want, really.
That's another layer why I say this is quite significant, because I don't think they would have gone to such effort if there wasn't some fairly grand scale reason for them doing this.
No,
you don't assassinate a public figure, especially one that's well liked, even loved by a large demographic of your population. You don't assassinate them in front of everyone without some big scale payback that you're expecting to come from it. Yeah. You don't do it just because he looked at you funny one day. No, sorry, that kind of mafioso bullshit don't fly on that kind of scale. Yeah, and when you're dealing with people who come from convoluted military and agency backgrounds, like we were talking about with Erica Kirk, her connections and the people that Charlie himself knew and rubbed shoulders with at the political level he was sort of operating at. That's not some random mafioso kill because somebody was pissed off with him. And it's also not just because they could nick $1 million out of the TPUSA bank. It's not the fucking money. This is major political maneuvers that are being done through this method. Yeah. That's why I think it connects in that religious sense, because they're trying to hoover up the Christian or largely Christian demographic in the USA. And even though, again, I know a lot of people like to poo-poo these kind of ideas, and they think that most of the Americans are all atheistic, democratic, city-dwelling humanists that aren't interested in religion. That might be true while they live in a happy, comfortable lifestyle. You find that a lot more people tend to lean towards atheism when they're safe and happy and comfortable. Because when you're safe and happy and comfortable, no stress, you're sitting there thinking, well, what's God doing for me? God ain't doing fuck all for me. I did all this for myself.
Yeah, but that's exactly what they want, right? Yeah. This nihilistic fucking thinking.
Yes. But they need the opposition. They need the counterpoint, the antithesis. Mm-hmm. So the democratic nihilism that's been promoted for years now, which again we've talked about often, that requires a counterpoint. And they know that as things get more stressful, more people will turn to religion or spirituality to find some kind of connection. Charlie didn't pass his silence ritual.
Yeah, I kind of agree, but I don't, because we've seen Elon Musk kind of go through this little ritual, and he had to take the humiliation fucking route, right? So he had to bend on his knee, take his little yamika, and fuck off to Israel and pray to the wall.
You have to swallow some of the shalami.
Yeah, so they could have done this with Charlie as well. They could have just sent him to Israel and beg for forgiveness and, humiliate him. And because if they have Erica as a capture, they, and then they know a lot about Charlie. And he would have groveled because Erica would have told him to.
Yeah, he did seem definitely... Right? Fully on board.
I still think that's like. Hang on, I'll play that one because that kind of fucking.
Oh, you got a clip? Okay, cool.
I got a clip. Yeah, well, it's a meme, but it exactly shows what I think about what's going on with these two. So watch this.
Why don't you let me fix you some of this new Mococo drink? All natural cocoa beans from the upper slopes of Mountain Nicaragua. No artificial sweeteners.
What the hell
Who are you talking to?
Who are you talking to?
I've tasted other cocos. This is the best.
What the hell does this have to do with anything? Tell me what's happening!
Well, you're having a nervous breakdown. That's what's happening.
You're part of this.
So they could have done the kind of yay treatment to Charlie, giving him some pills and calm him down.
No, they needed him to be a messiah.
That's why they did it, right? Because they could have done all that. That there's no reason exactly to fucking kill him, other than that there was a reason to kill him. As a martyr symbol,
he had to be martyred to create that messiah effect, because they're hoping. What they were hoping, and I don't 100% agree that this is a mistake.
What I don't get, Charlie, Charlie, Cookie.
I got to check my neck, Chris.
Now that we know who Erica is, how the fuck did Charlie not know who Erica is?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right? So either he's gay, and he was playing this game with his fake children and all that, because Erica's not a mother anymore. She's now fucking Turning Point USA, and she's on stage with all kinds of people. And
hugging the salami.
Fuck the kids, right? Nobody's seen the kids anymore. Like, fuck them. All that seems to be props for that fucking magical show, right? But how the fuck did he not know? So he knew. He knew. He knew Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, the guy who owned the fun fair never realised that it was the guy who was operating the roller coaster that was pretending to be the monster. He never realised. This is why I say, I think there is a definite narrative creation with this, where they need Candice and Erica to be two sides of that Hegelian process.
You see it with that Cash Patel right now, right? With his fucking trophy wife and how he's fucking... How he talked before and how he's talking now.
I think that's why his eyes are always so wide, because he thinks he's about to get off at any second.
I got a country singer.
Yeah,
right.
He's like, they're being too nice to me. This means they're going to get me. Any minute now, they're going to come and take me out.
Did he really think that we're that stupid that we don't see that shit? And how could Charlie not have known that he was, honey potted into fucking marrying?
Did you see some of the latest stuff? And again, I'm not denying the potential crafted element to this, but the latest stuff about she had a relationship just before she met up with him, and she basically dumped
He's
the
now
one
the boss
guy
of fucking
and switched to Charlie while Charlie was on the rise. And then obviously now Charlie's dead. She's now brought this ex back in. To take over the speaking tours.
Yeah, apparently he was a friend of Charlie.
Yeah, Cabot, I think his name was.
Friend.
Cabot Phillips, I think it was. Yeah.
He might be his gay friend.
Possibly, yes. I think a lot of people were
I
speculating
think
about
that's
whether
it.
he was
Right?
gay in the
There's
first
something
place.
more going on than.
And the Erica thing was a beard,
yeah.
potentially. And the children could have been as well, because
Yeah.
the one thing I never understood with that narrative, they claim that they never wanted their children to be photographed or seen on camera because they wanted to keep them private.
Yep.
But they were quite happy to show them from behind. So to
in
me,
public settings.
it's sort of a bit sort of like, well, surely as a Christian family that's promoting the concept of family life and having children and being that kind of traditional conservative Christian, blah, blah, surely you'd want your children to be participating in that, not separate from it.
I've seen shots of them in a stadium. And what are you trying to tell me? That they told everybody, no, you cannot take your phone out. You're not allowed to take a photo? No. And so, all that is theater, show, is fucking fake, man. And I don't believe any of it. So, the whole thing feels like, look here, don't look here.
Yeah, a crafted narrative.
Yeah, and I don't care if he's dead or not, because,
Exactly. It becomes a meaningless point, other than...
Exactly.
I do think that in terms of the scripts they were trying to create or play out, required him to be a messiah or martyred. Yeah, that serves their purpose for some reason, which is why.
And he got a nice little payout, and he's living in Dubai somewhere now, and he has his face changed, and blowing Arabian cock all day. So fuck him. He's happy. I'm sure he's happy.
Or potentially he's just on the Mir space station with Princess Di and Elvis. He did have a bit of a kind of Elvis quiff, didn't he? Yeah. So maybe he'll come back as an Elvis impersonator. But that's just that. Looking at the time, we're coming up closer to the hour anyway. But that's just one of the main events that has taken place this year, and it's certainly one that, however you look at it, there's levels of scripting and manipulation that are obvious. So, like we said, people are going to be debating for a very long time about what actually took place on that day and the details of what happened and whether he did or didn't die and how it happened and blah, blah, blah. 20 years later, we're still having the same discussions about 9/11. 70 years later, we're still having the same discussion about JFK. So don't get too hung up on trying to figure out the details.
They gave us the files.
It's not meant to be easily solvable. They went to a lot of effort to make it as confusing as possible and to give themselves as many possible explanations or caveats that they could throw in whenever needed. But the main point being, on the back of this event, there's various political actions taking place, and the playing out of this whole event, the Scooby-Doo episode that this whole event represents, is making a very good way to occupy and steer and manipulate the public in certain directions. I'm not saying distraction deliberately, because I don't like using that terminology too loosely. I think it gets thrown around far too much. And it becomes a really easy excuse to just say, I don't want you to talk about that. So everything gets labeled as a distraction. And if everything's a distraction, then what do? You end up in that canard where everything becomes labeled that way, so therefore you're not supposed to look at anything. No, that doesn't work either, does it? So
no, but don't get
just
sucked in, right? Don't get sucked in by these fucking
clean what you can from it. The reality that there is a narrative being pushed in every country, pretty much every country, certainly the Western world, the six eyes, that is all the same, that is all about promoting the nation state of Israel and the Zionist cause for the Greater Israel Project, and coming up with narrative justifications for why legislation or other political control methods have to be brought in to support that expectation. In other words, you as a general member of your country are not allowed to criticize, question, or boycott or stand against the agenda of the nation state of Israel.
Uh-huh.
That's what it comes down to. Shazbot Schalami. Yeah, you got to just eat the Jew sausage and not complain about the shit you're being fed. Yeah, go back to work.
Again, they
the
don't
tax
care
money.
if they hate, if you hate them, because that's exactly
what
what
they
they're
want. They need
after.
it.
So,
Yeah.
so
Anti-Semitism is the fuel that drives the growth
they're,
of the Zionist state.
that's the
Israel.
only reason why they arm themselves so much, or can arm themselves, because they want to kill us.
Yeah.
They want to.
Everybody's against us. We don't know why.
Help me.
Maybe it's because you keep fucking with people and killing them and stalking them.
History repeats, and it's gonna repeat it again. I don't think they're gonna get. They're close, but they're not gonna make it. But I hope. But they've been doing this for a long time now. So this might be the end game. It might be.
It could be. That's partly why as well I wanted to mention it.
It's
in
not
this
looking
way.
good. I say that.
Yeah, because there's so many other things going on at the moment.
Well,
that
Samsung
one has
option.
been. Yeah, that one has been a major headline and media occupier, hasn't it? Mm-hmm. And if anything, it served that purpose again as well of creating a funneling effect to certain media platforms and outputs. So Candice Owens has found herself suddenly now the #1 podcast, supposedly. So, elements like that are serving a purpose in the backdrop of everything else that's going on. The internet is basically dead. I know, again, we can have long debates about this.
Hitler's power, was largely the same. Like he rose on the same kind of a wave that's happening right now.
Yeah.
So certain people.
Yeah.
And again, it's the same people that were behind that wave, pushing this wave,
Yep.
and making you angry. So
yeah, that's part of the methodology.
Guys. Don't fall for it. But and it's not the Jews.
Please don't. Because I know I've said it a lot as well, but please don't mistake that as being don't defend yourself. That's not what I mean.
No.
That's what you mean either.
No.
All we're saying is don't get goaded into
don't get sucked into their false revolution. Yeah, right.
Yeah, or doing something silly that is not going to help you in the long run. Yeah.
No, it's only going to help them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they want. They want us to be out in the streets fighting with each other because of stupid differences.
Smarter. Yeah. Have to take a smart route about this, and I think the internet is a key in this. We use, they use it as a weapon, but so should we.
Yeah, and that as
well. They can find out about us. We can find out, but about them too.
A further reinforcement, and that adds into what I was just going to say, is a point that I've been making now all along, ever since I've been doing these shows. And I know some people don't like it because they think it's a bit too airy-fairy or hippy-dippy or whatever. But I think just tough shit, mate. That is what is happening. Whether you like it or think it's silly or childish or whatever, it doesn't matter. It is happening. There is a great awakening taking place. And I'm not saying that with the usual attempts to the different groups out there have tried to appropriate that terminology to mean their version of awakening. So in other words, for example, there is a Christian narrative that you are awakening to the reality of Christ. You're turning to Jesus, therefore that's your awakening. So, no, mate, that's not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to the reality that as proven by their own efforts, they would not be going to such a strident effort to control us all if we weren't all becoming uncontrollable from their point of view.
I'm sorry, but look what they did to our Messiah. So again, you're back at that fucking Jesus lost. He got nailed on the cross, not by the Romans. Well, they did it, but again, it's the same shit again, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to fall for that narrative.
Okay.
That's how they try to put down.
Are you that old?
I don't know, but that's how they try to portray Charlie now with his magic bullet, and he's Superman, and he's Messiah and a godly being, and
Yeah. like I said, and Saint Steel.
No.
They wanted to declare it as a Christian miracle. So
we should move beyond that. Past
yeah,
that.
we're supposed to be beyond. I think we are.
Yeah, we should.
Again, like I was saying, I think the sheer level of effort they're going to try and manipulate us, to try and control us, to try and psychically and psychologically fuck with us, that proves that there's more people starting to see them for what they are. The illusionist on the stage is now in the audience, going round the audience, showing them pictures, saying, believe me, this is what actually happened. Look at the illusion, look at the illusion, look at the illusion. And nobody is looking at the illusion because they can see straight through it now. So nobody's buying it anymore, which is why they're going to such an effort to try and control us. This is why they want to introduce a technocratic open-air prison system, because they know that too many of the population have learned or have experienced something that has caused them to distrust the official narrative or the official excuse anymore. Why do you think they want to get rid of jury trials? It's nothing to do with the fucking backlog. It's so that you can't appeal to a jury and you can't use jury nullification. So it's literally going to be a rubber stamp through an electronic system.
Yeah, quick justice.
Yeah. Oh, you've been fined for saying something naughty online. No appeal, no trial, no question, no jury, no possibility of avoiding it. Just you've been rubber stamped. There you go.
It's the only way how you can usher in an AI.
Yeah, control system.
Justice system. Yeah. You cannot have humans involved in that. So
this
music?
I will do in just a sec. I've got unless you wanted to play the
I want to play that one first.
Oh right, okay,
please.
one second. Because I'll save the one I've got for the end. That'll be good for the end one. Yeah. But yeah, just to reiterate that point, that over the last few years, and it's worked quite well for us, I think, as a sort of theme, a backdrop theme of using that clip of McKenna talking about the novelty theory, saying it's getting weirder and weirder, and it's going to get even weirder. Yeah, it will be like a fire in a madhouse, because we are reaching that kind of civilization level again, where the mass of the population have comprehended enough that they realise they're being exploited in the most horrible ways imaginable. You think of child trafficking and all the other kind of nastiness that's been revealed over the last couple of decades at least. Yeah, the general populace has had enough of this system. So they're desperately trying to implement ways to stop us and to control us and to hold us down, because they know full well that when it comes down to it, the only reason they get to live in their cloistered lifestyle is because of the mass of the population make it available to them. Yeah, it wouldn't happen if we weren't there to build it for them. So don't believe all that propaganda that you are just little old you that's incapable of standing up against this system and they're so all powerful they can do whatever the fuck they want. No, they can't. That's been proven pretty much every day in the media recently. They're getting called out and seen through on a constant basis. So, yeah. Okay, let's have some music. This was this was the original Angry North song.
Yeah, Angry North song. He made a video about it. Like, oh, somebody covered my song. I'm so happy.
Cool.
And I listened to it, and I fucking loved it, because it's a bit rougher version than he normally does.
I kept saying to him it needs to be a bit heavier, a bit weightier.
Yeah. So there you go.
Cool. All right, back in a minute.
Sharpest in the box. This old game, it never stops. know you, red or blue, a super sucker, green for you. With money's only one thing's true. Your government is your enemy. 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 It's your enemy. Grow up here.
So subscribe. I did share the link.
I just did. Yeah, thank you.
Cool. I think
Yeah,
he's from
thanks for that,
Australia,
Matt.
as far as I see in the chat. I think he's Aussie.
All right,
'Cause it's
cool.
a good morning over there.
Yeah,
Well done,
that's
mate. Well done. We love
Yeah,
a good cover.
definitely
so,
sounds
yeah.
good. Right?
Yeah,
And
and welcome to the family, mate. More musicians joining the group. It's always welcome. So, yeah, cool, mate. And I hope you get some
Definitely,
subs out of us bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did just sub, so
Yeah, me too.
and I'll definitely keep passing it on.
And he's on Rumble too. So you have to, just type Matt Finley and you'll find him probably. So
Right.
he's on the Rumble chat right now. So he's there.
Cool. Thank you. I'll have to get Angry North to start. How can I put it? Putting more of his stuff up for
For viewing. Yeah.
for use. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, obviously that's up to him to decide how he wants to do that kind of thing. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known if he didn't tell us. So that's good.
Yeah.
So if he knows more of this shit, then always welcome for sure. I'm a bit sad
Well,
he's not watching right now, but
I'm guessing it probably pops up in search results and stuff, doesn't it? If you
I don't know if did you watch yesterday's video? What you did? Because you went in a bit about what he's working on and for the future, and there's more coming. So there's definitely.
No, I missed that. I didn't.
Yeah, he posted
I didn't get any
a 20-minute video, and that's where he talked about Matt as well. So that's how I got there. So yeah, Angry North is a fan of you, Matt. Apparently, so Yeah.
I don't know why that hadn't come up then.
Yeah, I don't know, but
I'll
yeah,
go-
and he's digging a hole now in the World War II stuff and Hitler.
Oh,
6 million.
yeah, that's a really big can of worms.
That's a kind of worm. So he's going to be busy for for a while.
Yeah, you could be there for a few years.
I didn't want to push him along, but yeah.
No,
We've all been there, so yeah, no, it's good. It's good. You should.
And similar to what I was saying, a lot of that information is a lot more available now. So
I think so. Yeah.
It's not as much of a struggle to try and pick your way through it.
No, not right now. No.
If anything,
future,
yeah, that's what I was going to say. If anything, it's being spread a lot more at the moment, but that could have a knockback effect, like you're saying. Yeah. They could come along and start shutting a lot more of it down.
A lot of people are rediscovering Irvin and all that stuff. So yeah.
Ernst Zundel was one of the main ones that I read through. This is going back many years to like the late 90s, early noughties. He was blogging, what used to be called blogging back then, which is basically just writing on a web page, but they used to refer to it as a blog roll. Hiya, kitty, meow.
Meow, meow.
Hello. But yeah, it's the stuff he was writing at the time, because he was still going around to visiting some of the sites and trying to find corroborations of many of the claims. He's trying to find real world proof and evidence
Yeah.
He was one of the first people I saw explaining about how
The doors work.
the doors were not functional, the chimneys were not big enough, the rooms were not capable, various reasons in a literal sense of why the claims could not
physical
have been
evidence.
proven.
Yeah.
But then, of course, he got himself arrested for doing that. So, yeah, he got put in jail for, I don't know how many fucking years, and quite a few years.
Yeah, Irvin as well.
Yeah.
Prosecuted.
And then I came across Norman Finkelstein. He's one I'd recommend if you seriously want to look into that subject.
Yeah, he's one of the rare Jews that is open about it. Like
he's an honest person. So even though he comes from that background and his own parents were survivors of the camps, he talks honestly about the subject, and he's quite upfront and willing to discuss the harder questions, you know. But he can be a bit, how can I put it? He can be a bit depressing to listen to. He's certainly
Jewish Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, he's certainly not one to sugarcoat things, you know.
No.
But I appreciate that. I'd rather
his stuff on Gaza now is, very revealing.
I think he's pretty much thrown in the towel now.
No.
Considering his age as well, I think he's just at the point of breaking because he's just become so over the top, you know.
Yes, there was a time of resisting and fighting, and I think he realized that time is over now.
Gone.
Because
it's now
happening.
we're at the stage where the current trajectory has to be played out to one end or another.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And we didn't make this happen. They've made this happen.
Oh, yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I say, like, I try to be careful. I try to be specific about stressing the point to do with Zionism and the political, the nation state of Israel, the political existence of Israel as a nation state. This is not about all the Judaic people, the Hebrew people, the Hebraic. Yeah. Is that the right word? No, I don't think it is, but whatever. Yeah,
I think so.
Because a lot of their ethnicity is being exploited just as much as the rest of us are. I mean, look at the situation in Bondi Beach. Yeah, that could potentially have been a Hannibal directive false flag. In other words, sacrifice some of our own people just to create a problem reaction solution justification for the Australian government to be forced to bring in certain legislation. Yeah, exactly.
Australia also October 7th.
Yeah. So when they're willing to literally throw their own population into the war machine just to create political excuses or narratives or whatever, they're on a self-destruction pathway. You know, if you were analysing them like an individual, if you were psychoanalyzing them as an individual, they have a self-destructive propensity that is most likely going to lead to their own demise. Pretty much, definitely, one way or the other. Yeah, because it's only going to work out one way or the other in the long run. And that's something they seem to be incapable of, because at the core of the people that are pushing this Zionistic attitude, this psychopathic fucking attitude, is also the determination that they will not concede in any way whatsoever, because as far as they're concerned, they're the super uber special chosen people. So the rest of us can be gotten rid of. Yeah. And when you have somebody with an attitude like that, there is no dealing with them. There is no negotiating with them. They themselves say this about everyone else. You know, they themselves use this excuse to say why they won't come up with a peace deal with the Palestinian people. Who is it that's the one that won't acquiesce in any way whatsoever? You know, they won't compromise in any way whatsoever. It's them. You know, I think the Palestinians have quite obviously been forced, or they've willingly capitulated and compromised in so many ways over the decades or more, you know. So who is it that are the ones that won't compromise? Anyway, banging on that subject again. Let's mention a few of the other things.
Where's the international outrage? Where's the UN on this and all that, right? Where are the vetoes? Where are,
Yeah. Where's the blockades?
None of it.
Yeah.
I just saw the numbers. Ukraine now is 2.8 million since 2014. So on the Ukraine side, men.
Where's the
women,
numbers coming from?
Those are the estimates from UN, kind of
Right.
outside kind of counting numbers. All right, and Israel and Gaza is now 980,000, so almost a million, and that's in 9 months.
So that's probably what 40% of what was the population.
The ratio is insane if you compare it to like Ukraine, how they fucking flattened that place, like killed those people.
Yeah.
Compared to Ukraine, because that's been going. It's not 2020 or 22 what they like to believe. It's since 2014 Ukraine, right?
Yeah. At least, because they were.
So that's 11 years, and they barely made 2 million casualties, and that's what Israel does in a year, basically.
Like, some of the casualties that are counted on the Russian side are the Russian-speaking. What were then Ukrainians, the Russian-speaking Ukrainians
the
that lived in
Donbass,
the east end of Ukraine,
Yeah,
so it's been going on since before 2014, but 2014 was like the crux point.
That's where Russia said no more.
Yeah.
Stop bombing your own people. That's what Russia said at that point.
Yeah.
This happened as well. Our good Mr. Christmas song. Chris Rea.
Yeah, forgot to mention that, Chris Rea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna play it tomorrow.
Shame about the Paddington.
Yeah, I don't know. This was one of the gay things I found on the internet. But,
it's,
I thought
it's another one of those.
Sentence was good. Like it's one more.
Yeah. The sentiment's good, definitely. It's just. Paddington has become one of them weird British icons that shouldn't be British in any way whatsoever. Unless you want to reference a time period like around the Raj, the British Empire time,
let's keep it at Chris Rea in this case.
Yeah.
That's
what I mean. It's like, why have they pictured him with Paddington?
I don't know, because he's British, I guess. I don't know. Maybe
and the timing.
Did he have something with Paddington? I don't know.
I think so. I think there was something to do with Paddington at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, he's gonna be missed. He has the only fucking tolerable Christmas song out there, that everybody kind of feels the same sentiment.
Yeah. Depends what you mean.
Everybody is in that situation at one point. Like, worked overtime, long day. Fuck, it's Christmas. Shit, I have to get presents.
Yeah. I have to battle my way through the traffic to get home in time.
I have to do the thing.
Yeah. Or like a lot of people do, where you travel around different families.
I sympathize with what he's saying.
Visiting aunts and uncles and stuff. You end up driving for most of the Christmas day.
Yeah. It's a realistic Christmas song. Like,
Yeah.
Life sucks.
For me, it's just sort of like, well, Christmas doesn't exactly mean much to me. I don't know if you noticed. I've got no fucking tinsel, no decorations, nothing.
I get lights.
I don't do any of that shit anymore. I don't bother with it.
I do the lights because it's yesterday, right? The darkest, longest, shortest day.
Solstice.
This morning, right? Solstice.
Yesterday, the 21st.
Yeah,
so
I saw
Sunday.
them at Stonehenge. Yeah. They do that thing always, right?
And if you notice
but it was cloudy again.
Is it apogee or perigee? It was the closest one, wasn't it? So I think that's apogee. But whatever, the closest movement of that 3-eye atlas was on the 19th. So the solstice weekend, basically.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, nothing fucking amazing happened.
No.
Sorry, I'm just,
even Avi Loeb is saying it's a natural comment now.
Yeah.
Cookie.
Yeah. I really, I genuinely
Again,
hope.
distraction, attention.
In a way, yes, but it was also like I know I mentioned this over the last couple of weeks or whatever. It was an attempt by them. It was an opportunity for them to reinforce the standard model physics that they've been trying to convince us all of for however many fucking years now, for 100+ years. And this is why I really hope that events like this bypassing this cosmological event will encourage and inspire more people to ask questions that will lead them to the electric universe theory. Because if you look at the movement of that body, whatever it was, comet or asteroid, whatever, it followed electric universe principles. If you applied electric universe principles to it, there was nothing spectacular going on whatsoever. It did not breach expectations. It was not doing weird shit that we can't explain unless it's aliens. No, it was doing exactly what was expected. So I'm hoping that, again, we're steadily moving towards the acceptance and acknowledgement of that reality of physics up to, and this is why when we were chatting last week, I said I disagreed about the plasma scientist at the Brown University thing.
Yeah.
I don't think that he was working on free energy that they were about to reveal to the public. And no, that's the hopium narrative that gets pushed endlessly. But I do think he was probably working on secret projects or something. Yeah, that's probably what got him done in. Yeah, there was something going on there that they want to keep secret.
I think it's even more gay. I think he stole the idea of his fucking friend in Portugal.
Right.
Because he's a Jew and not that smart.
Right.
And that's how he got into Harvard, and that guy in Portugal didn't, and that guy got, angry and
told him to get him in revenge.
Fuck you, you motherfucker! You stole my idea. You stole my career. You stole my everything. You fucking shit Jew!
Yeah.
I kill you! I kill you!
Yeah, nerd vengeance
I think it's that.
can be
nerd vengeance. Yes.
Yeah. It's usually the worst kind of vengeance because they store it up for years.
The guy flew from Portugal over to fucking, find him in the classroom. He wasn't there. He had to shoot somebody because they would have, probably called him and warned him. And so, yeah. So.
Oh, right. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Then he had to go to the house and found him there, and then he killed him. And
right.
Again, it's that. I think it's that, and then a lot of people try to make it into a plasma physics, free energy, sensational shit story.
Because everyone wants it, that's
sure.
I get it. I myself.
We don't need him for that. We just need fucking.
Yeah, this is why I've been interested in this subject matter for half my life at least. Yeah, which is why I'm a bit cynical when suggestions like that come up.
All we need is the Tesla files, and we know how to do it.
Yeah, because I've learned that you always have to keep in mind that when somebody like what's his name, Morgan, JP Morgan, would go to the extent of cancelling. Back then, it wasn't called cancelling, was it? But that's what he was doing. Cancelling one of the greatest minds in physics that we've had for centuries.
Yeah.
Just because he wouldn't be able to charge people money if this guy had carried on with his research. Yeah.
AC/DC.
Yeah. So when they'll go to that kind of extent, that proves that the system does not want us to have that kind of technology.
No.
So even if somebody does invent it, it will get disappeared because it prevents their hierarchical control.
Yeah. That's why I think it's a bullshit story, right?
Yeah.
There's
opium again.
Something.
It'd be great if they acknowledge that. And as again, referencing the electric universe stuff, I think there's already enough evidence to show that we could potentially, even if it's not in a semantic or pedantic sense, it's not necessarily truly 0 point energy as they call it, but it would be close to. Even Tesla's Wardenclyffe design would be very, very close to 0 point energy generation, such that the running costs would be so minimal. Your average family home, even if they were on a poverty line would be able to afford one. You know?
A lot of people have experienced 0 point energy by now. That's just when you go outside and you see one of those orbs, right? Those flashy, bright lights fly.
Yeah.
You see it in action. So somebody has that technology. I don't know if it's aliens or whatever.
I think that's what we're steadily.
But you can
creeping
see
toward,
it's there. You know, somebody's doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think they are going to acknowledge that they have that
to.
kind of
They have
propulsion
to
technology.
run their fucking shit server.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've been banging on the point about the Space Force and whatever, you know, for years now.
Yeah.
Now that we've got command of the near-Earth orbit, they're quite happy for this kind of narrative to scale up as well. So they want people to be accepting of this new form of physics that enables super fast propulsion and whatever.
I just saw a fairly recent another theory out there about the Van Allen belt, which kind of thought, oh, hang on. So the Van Allen belt is a lot of radiation, right? So it's free energy, radiation energy. So all you need is a converter, stick it in there, and you can power up. God knows, how much energy. So
the problem is getting it.
I'll just
back
leave
to
it out
Earth.
there, just to think about, right? So
the problem is getting it back to Earth because Arthur C. Clarke suggested having
metamaterials, some.
But the problem is bringing the energy back to Earth.
Yeah.
Because you can't do it through a cable.
We're surrounded by it, and I think that's what Tesla was doing with the ether and all that stuff.
Absolutely,
right? We're surrounded with so much energy, we don't need to create it. It's out there already.
No, you just need to
stick
create
an antenna. Tap it.
That's all an electric motor is a tap. Yeah. A lot of people don't realise that.
That's free energy out there.
This is where it gets into a kind of mind-bending level of. For people who don't get this kind of physics, it can seem mind-bending, but the rotation of the armature in an electric motor is what gathers the electricity. It doesn't generate electricity. There's no such thing as generating electricity. It gathers the electricity from the environment. By creating a magnetic spiral, which creates a magnetic vortex, which is like opening a tap window into the ether net, the ether realm of pure energy. So you're not generating anything. You're literally using magnetic force to pull open a hole. And out of that hole comes fucking electrons.
It's a higher form of energy, right? It's ever higher form of energy. So
you could.
We're surrounded by it.
Manifests.
We're literally surrounded by it, and Tesla made that realization, and I think a lot of people have figured that one out. But I don't know. It should be fairly easy to tap into that fucking.
Good morning, Matt. So I think still because obviously it's night time here. He's off to work, so don't work too hard.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for the tunes. We'll play some more.
Thanks for the music. It's cool.
Yeah, cool.
Definitely look forward to hearing some more. But the 3i Atlas thing, we've had that this year, as well as like with the other visitors, so-called interstellar visitors that we've had, as well as the 3i Atlas. It's just, I think...
Number 3.
The third one created a bit more of a spectacle, didn't it? So it gave them something to focus on and to capture the public's imagination with.
If you like rocks, then they're interesting, for sure.
I mentioned the no jury trial thing. Digital ID is an obvious one. I'm just thinking through some of the stories, the events that have happened this year. If you can think of anything in particular you want to mention, just put it in the chat. I wasn't intending to do kind of like a year roundup, but it just seems like it's worth, I think, pointing out the fact that maybe it's more apparent to us older ones, and I'm not that old, but I'm old enough to have seen a few decades as an adult, so therefore I've seen the cycle of politicians and parliaments come and go and all the bullshit and whatever, So you get to that stage when you get older where you become cynical to all their fucking bullshit. But the last few years, and this year in particular, seems to have been definitely on the scale of McKenna's concept of the compression of novelty. We are hitting that weird upon weird stage where things are happening so fast. I mean, just this year, there's been so many major political or geopolitical stories and events, as well as things like catastrophes, alleged catastrophes that we've been told about, like some of the floods, some of the crazy weather situations, which, and I say allegedly, we've been told about them because we don't know for certain if they were genuinely natural or if they were engineered using some kind of technology or geoengineering technology, because there's a strong possibility that is now a regular part of their toolbox that they utilize for creating narratives and manipulation.
Yeah, blue roofs are trending.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that again is something that's been a bit more acknowledged. Now geoengineering is an acknowledged part of the mainstream media lexicon, even though you've only got to go back a few years, literally just a few years. And if you use the word geoengineering in a mainstream media, like news article or something, like say you were asked to talk on a news channel or whatever, and you mentioned geoengineering, you would get the usual conspiracy theorist, crazy person allegations against you. Now, it's just, oh yeah, of course it's real. Everybody knows it's real, mate. We've got to do this because, saving the planet. So we've done that jump point that other people have described, where it's denied, it's ridiculed, it's refused, and then it's accepted as normal. So we've reached that kind of scientific paradigm shift, although it wasn't really a scientific paradigm shift, was it? It was just an honest acknowledgement from the control structure that we know that they have technology to fuck with the weather, and we know that they have been actively using it in different ways to create shitty things, to cause things to happen, which then they tell us lies about. I show this image just to partly make that point, but I think this is a result of the green agenda in the way that they have been deliberately not maintaining things in our societal infrastructure such that it causes these kind of problems. You might have seen this come up in the news today. I thought it was appropriate, the fact that this popped up today, for making this example. This in, I think it was in Wales. Llangollen or Llangollen.
Yeah. Be sure.
Yeah, I think it's in. It might be Herefordshire. I'm not sure.
Herefordshire, some sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be Herefordshire. I'll have a. If it says it in
Shropshire.
Shropshire. Oh, there you go. Oh, fucking hell, yeah, it's in the title. Sorry, I was looking in the blurb. Sorry. Yeah.
Shropshire.
And I won't bother playing it because it is
Shire Americans. Not Shire.
No,
sure.
you say it as if you're saying sure.
Sure.
Yeah, like S-U-R-E.
Oh, sure.
Shropshire.
Yeah. Not Shire.
I mean, you can really.
I learned the hard way. Sorry.
You can really squeeze the vowels depending on your accent, but yeah, it's almost never pronounced Shire.
Yeah, no.
Only the what do they call that version of English?
You're not hobbits.
It's only the BBC that say Shire.
Yeah, and Lord of the Rings. They think it's like Lord of the Rings,
in the
right?
Shire. Yeah. Yeah, it's just when it's combined with other prefixes, it becomes.
And
that
then
kind
at
of
first
shit.
they said it was a sinkhole, but it's clearly not.
Yeah,
a
that's what I thought when they first said sinkhole. And I was like, how the fuck does that happen?
That's
but
not
then
a sinkhole. Yeah.
When they said, "Oh no, it was corrosion of the bank," and I looked at
Yeah.
the images.
It's a breach.
Yeah, a breach of the bank, which basically means this bank wall hasn't been properly maintained. So movement to the water has actively weakened it.
The trees.
Yeah, there could have been trees removed along that bank edge, because the trees are not just there for prettification. They serve a few functions. They're noise reduction. They're soil locking. They hold the soil together to provide support for the canal, etc.
Hey,
So,
I'm Dutch. I'm Dutch. You cannot put a tree on a dike. Sorry.
Yeah, but they weren't on the dike. They were on the other side.
The embankment that is, separating them from, right?
Yeah, you could just about make it out on that
because
one there.
Because of the root systems that,
they're further over.
The embankment. And there's a curve, so there's a natural little bit of a push to the outside.
Yeah, pressure. Yeah.
So, as an engineer, I'm not an engineer, but I'm Dutch, so I know this shit.
You can see the line of the curve there.
This has not been maintained for at least, how old are those trees? 50 years? 60 years?
Oh, no, some of those canals go back 150 years.
Yeah, but those trees, they should have been chopped down
trees.
Like ages ago, like 50 years
maybe
ago, 20 years?
60, 70 years old.
Yeah.
Depends what they are. I can't quite tell.
That's the problem. And they let it happen.
Yeah.
Because they thought, looks nice.
And like I say, it's part of the climate change bullshit, the rewilding bullshit.
Yeah.
They've deliberately not maintained this kind of infrastructure well enough, so they knew these kind of problems were going to start happening.
Yeah, it's all part of heritage, right? Yeah. That shit.
Change the way people are living within the environment because they want to force us all into the city so that they can have more control over us, and the rural areas can be automated, robotized.
Yeah. Well, no, you cannot grow trees on dikes. So
it's a much longer agenda though that's still ongoing, but they're seriously pushing hard for the zero carbon agenda now. Because, again, even though this isn't being much discussed in the mainstream media, it is a little bit. It's been mentioned here and there, but it isn't really being critiqued or questioned. If anything, it's being just promoted. It's just been talked about in the sense of this is something good that we need, in the same way as they're talking about the solar farms and shit.
Mm-hmm. You say promoted, I say groupie show. Here we go.
It's the end of year Groupies Christmas show
with Nada Dr. Robert, Lowlands Pete and Harry Cookie Munster, Steve Turgoose, Kitty and Paula. Bring your favorite Christmas song request and join in with the last legendary Tuesday quiz of the year. It all starts at 8 p.m. exclusively on Health Freedom UK, only on Rumble.
And Mr. Smith, he's there too. So.
Yeah.
Everybody who wants to join us,
everybody will be jingling their baubles.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, you've got to ignore his spelling mistakes, right? He's Dutch.
I'm Dutch.
Do you want him to spell it in Dutch? It'd be even worse.
I slapped that thing together in like 5 minutes. So.
We like trying to read Welsh.
And by the way, I copy-pasted your spelling, so if there's anything wrong...
My spelling? What do you mean, Rob's spelling?
No, Rob's.
Right,
I copy-pasted
it. I was going to say, I'm fairly careful with stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
If I misspelled something, it's usually deliberate.
I wrote it for him.
Yeah. That's called projection, Rob.
I checked. Bollocks, I checked.
You wrote it for him, and then you told him off for getting it wrong.
Copy paste, so.
Oh dear.
But yeah, so it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a bit of a, I don't know, a year's look back on how the year was for all of us, guys, and our favorite Christmas tune. So bring your tune.
I don't know.
Bring all your Chris Rias. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to pick Chris Ria. I'll pick something else. So, yeah.
My favourite tune is probably Thank Fuck It's All Over and Done With. Everybody can stop playing there.
Christmas.
I don't hate it. I just, I can't
I
abide.
loathe Christmas.
Yeah, it's more of a loathing than a hatred.
Yeah,
I can't abide the false charity and the smarmy fucking attitudes and the jealousy and the commercialism.
Yeah, I know.
To me, it's all just very fake and false and plasticky.
Yeah.
And the sanctification by the system that at a certain few days of the year you're allowed to express your appreciation and love for your family or your friends, etc. No, you should be doing that all the fucking time.
Yeah, Jesus wasn't born in December either, so.
No, exactly. And
Just
yeah,
saying.
don't get me started on that, man. I'll have to change my name again, because I put Santa's salty sack just to take the piss, but Son of the Sun, I could sit here and explain how Jesus is the Son. And the whole story of him being born around this time is all connected to the solar cycle, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. No. Tomorrow, we're going to celebrate kind of the casual, normal trooper, Rob, health, freedom style with quiz.
In other words, no black pills allowed.
Oh, black pills for sure, but
I'll find me some.
As long as they're,
if I can find them. I don't know where they are. If I can find me sunglasses, I'll just sit here and say nothing.
You just got to time them right. That's all.
I'll just occasionally butt in and say something like "open air prison system."
Yeah. 50 minutes, Eddie.
Yeah. You just want to probe your colon.
Oh no!
They sent me another colon kit.
Not the aliens again. Please, no.
I'm sure they must earn a lot of money by
good
doing
night,
those
Sonia.
operations.
Have a good one.
Good night, Sonia.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah. The one other thing I got in my notes to mention was the latest flu outbreak.
Oh yeah, Rob has it.
Have you noticed?
Yeah, it's patient 0.
Have you noticed? I don't know whether Rob will talk about this tomorrow. He might have some articles to do with this, but have you noticed that today, now that the doctors' strikes are over, the news has no longer got stories in about the flu outbreak or how all the hospitals are overloaded. No mention about that at all now that the doctors' strike is over.
Oh.
So could it have been something politically motivated to do with the doctors going on strike? Try and push the blame onto them. Look at how horrible they are because they're causing a flu epidemic and causing the hospitals to be overloaded. It's all their fault. Hate them, not us, the politicians that are fucking them over. And that's even without getting into the, do you trust the fucking doctors anyway, considering they've been trying to get us to have fucking jabs and shit? No, they can fuck off with that shit.
After the last time, no.
It's like, hey, folks, how about you let us jab you and fill you with this flu virus? And then we can go on the news and say, hey, there's a flu outbreak. Isn't that a fucking coincidence? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Funny how flu didn't exist when COVID hit us. Right.
Yeah,
there was
just
no
vanished.
Flu. Yeah.
We can solve the epidemic by...
No, fuck doctors and their Hippocratic oath.
You agreeing to 1 million jabs. Forget the $1 million. It's just 1 million jabs. Yeah. There's been quite a few crazy scientist stories over this year. I did try and think of a few other stories from earlier in the year, but to be honest, considering the year I've had, it's been a bit distracting to say the least. Forget fucking Erica Kirk or 3-Eye Atlas as being a fucking distraction. Spending a month in hospital and then having to move home, just the shit that's happened for me this year has been a bit occupying. When I was trying to remember some of the stories, I was sitting there thinking, I can't fucking think of anything off the top of my head.
What's the meeting we were planning? Was it in June or July?
July.
Oh.
Well, no.
July, Smitty.
End of June, because it's on the solstice.
Yeah, I said June-ish. But,
Yeah, it's summer solstice, so it's the
right. Yeah, 21 for 21st then.
19th, 20th, 21st.
Yeah,
The main weekend, anyway, as far as I remember, it's a
something like that.
weekend.
And I
But
spelled
yeah,
it right. So
some of
fuck
us
you.
will be there for
Oh, Rob
most
says
of the
June.
week.
Rob knows.
Yeah, it's June.
June.
Yeah,
June.
the solstice. Summer solstice.
There you go.
So
Yeah, I didn't.
keep that
I
time
said
period
June,
open.
so I was right, but I didn't want to make a
Yeah.
mistake.
So it took me a moment to
I wasn't 100% sure.
kick my brain into calendar gear.
Mm-hmm.
In the calendar gear. Yeah, I mean, we're coming
6
up
months.
to...
Oh my god, it's almost, man.
Oh, it's fucking ages. Anything could happen in that time. Huh?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. Could all have fucking digital ID and be locked away at home, let alone anything else.
Yeah. James could be back in the chat.
It could be.
No, he's there.
I'm
I know he's there.
to-
He's lurking, the fucker.
Yeah, I'm starting to get very cynical about that. But
No. Get well soon, James. Come back.
Yeah.
You know, don't be
please
mopey.
do.
Get over it. We're all over it. It's good.
Yeah,
Go on.
or at least talk to somebody. Don't ignore everybody.
Yeah. We're here, mate. We're here for you.
Yeah. I'll quite happily stay out the way if you're pissed off with me. That don't matter.
I know you two need to talk as well. Like, you know, get it over with. Like, you know, hug and kiss
It already
shove a
is.
finger up each other's ass.
It already is.
Yeah, I thought so, but yeah, I don't know. I think he's struggling with shit, so I don't know. I hope not, but I hope you're fine, James. So you're out there, listen to us. You know, we're still here. We love you.
Wish you a Merry Christmas. If you don't show up or show your face, hopefully you are just at least listening. We wish you a Merry Christmas. I think we might end up doing some kind of broadcast before the New Year, so we'll have the opportunity to say Happy New Year before then.
Yeah,
I think.
for sure. Sure.
Yeah, next Monday.
Not on Starfish though. We're still. We got 10 days. 10 days ban. Still 10 days.
Yeah. And
that's
please
next month,
remember,
so-
folks, that there won't be a show on Wednesday.
Nope.
So tomorrow night, Tuesday night show for
It's kind of the
Dr. Rob's
finale
Health
for the year.
Freedom UK is going to be, that'll be the final Christmas show. I will do a broadcast on the 29th next week, but that obviously will be more closer to the new year. So the Wednesday next week is on the 31st on New Year's Eve, so we could maybe do that on New
I
Year's
could do
Eve.
that. I'm here, so you know I don't care. I don't care about fireworks.
Yeah,
and all that shit, so
I'll
I'm
be here for New Year's Eve, so
Okay.
that's cool.
We could do
Yeah,
I'm fine for that. That would be good.
maybe
Have
a few drinks and
We're
shout
not the only ones out there that you know don't have a New
scream
Year's
into
party
the
to go
void.
to. So
So how dare they give us this calendar and tell us we have to keep ticking days off?
No, we're
What
gonna
year
play
is it?
tunes and our favorite tunes and shit, and have a good time. That sounds like
What year was
Sounds
it
like
according
nice.
to who?
Depends what religion you are.
Yeah, exactly.
7,000. I think the Jews are in 7,000 something.
6,000 and something, yeah.
Yeah.
So they're in the seventh millennium, according to them. Yeah, Valerie Bat is doing something on Wednesday. So check that out if you want something.
5,786.
Oh, I thought it was over 6,000. Oh, right, okay.
Nope.
So they're not quite reached the 6,000 yet. Maybe that's what they're trying to work
I
towards.
think the Chinese are with their calendar. But
Maybe, yeah.
I
I
don't
know the
but,
Aborigines are several thousand years as well, aren't they? I know they call them Aborigines. That's not really the right term, but you know what I mean. And I'm sure there's some other tribal peoples around the world that probably could calculate their heritage back that far as well.
Oh, yeah. Multiple cycles, right? 8.
Yeah.
8 cycles. We're in the 8th.
According to the yoga, we're in the 5th.
Yeah, the Inca, I think they
This
said
is
the
the
eighth.
fifth age,
Oh.
and the Maya were talking about it being the fifth age as well. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Fifth.
but I think that's meant to be the coming age change, which seems to correlate with the zodiacal procession. So they may have been referring to the zodiacal progression. So we're not quite there yet. We're just going over the cusp at the moment. Switching over into the age of Pisces. Sorry, the age of Aquarius from the age of Pisces, isn't it? Yeah. We have been in the age of Pisces. We're moving into the age of Aquarius. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to say thanks very much for tuning in. I'll finish it up like a few minutes early. I've got a song to play, which I thought is appropriate for hopefully making the point about cutting through some of the bullshit, because they most definitely are trying their damnedest to separate us in as many ways as they can, whether it be race, religion, ethnicity, social standing, how much money you've got, how many bank accounts you've got, or whatever fucking element they can use to make you feel separate and different from other people. Because obviously it serves their purpose for them to set us all against each other. And that's at this time of Christmas, even though I'm not a Christian and blah, 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 that's just my approach to these things. Doesn't mean I don't believe in the same divine principle. I'm just not necessarily a follower of the Christian religion as an organized religion. That's the only thing for me. But yeah, this is supposed to be a time when we get together. We come together. This is... now that we've passed the solstice in particular, because I was thinking about using the title for this episode of just one word, just the word up. It could be misconstrued in many different ways, but my idea was simply the fact that now you've got past the darkest period of the winter. Well done, you survived. We're now on the up. Now everything is progressing up towards spring and then summer.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, the sun is gradually going to increase its appearance to us daily. So everything is on the up. The only way is up. Yeah, they don't want us to remember that.
Up, baby.
That's one.
You and me now.
But that's one of the reasons why they dislike Christianity so much. And I think it's one of the most beneficial elements of Christianity is that truth that it's only through the creative element of love, or what we would define as love, the word love, that this entire reality emanates into being. I call it creation. Other people call it love.
No.
Yeah, but that is what is represented by that primary foundational Christmas Christian message. It's not about whether Jesus was born on Christmas Day or any of that stupid shit. That's not accurate. Yeah, it's just about the fact that we come together to celebrate his example. That's what matters. So if anybody is born on Christmas Day, it's us, each of us, reborn or given the opportunity to be reborn. Every Christmas time we come together and celebrate that principle, because it's a theological principle rather than necessarily a literal truth.
Yep.
It's about the concept and the principle rather than anything literal. So with that, I'm going to play a classic song which I've always loved and which sort of makes the same point. Don't believe all the bullshit they're feeding us. We're still going to be here after they've fucking disappeared up their own Uranuses. So we'll see you again soon. Please tune in tomorrow for Not Dr.
I got the
Rob's.
McKenna clip. If you want to play that at the end of this song, that would be cool.
Is it the whole clip?
It's like
it's
like a minute-ish. And yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
To finish it off, right?
Yeah, cool. I'll get you.
Cool.
Do you want to do that, or do you want me to do that?
No, you click it. You click the buttons.
Yeah, I'm just clarifying so we're not both trying to click on it at the same time.
No.
because otherwise it will just fuck it up, won't it? Yeah. So
Nope,
anyway,
you're the
right,
best.
okay. Thanks, folks. We'll see you again soon.
Thanks all for
Catches.
joining. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
And weirder, and finally it's going to be so weird that people are going to have to talk about how weird it is. I look for the invention of artificial life, the cloning of human beings, possible contact with extraterrestrials, possible human immortality, and at the same time, appalling acts of brutality, genocide, race baiting, homophobia, famine, starvation. The mushroom said to me once, it said, "This is what it's like when a species prepares to depart for the stars. You don't depart for the stars under calm and orderly conditions. It's a fire in a madhouse." And that's what we have, the fire in the madhouse at the end of time. This is what it's like when a species prepares to move on to the next dimension.
Welcome to your awakening. Please take off as your reality is adjusted.